Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the weekend warm-up for the 2018 Russian Grand Prix. Now, before I get into it, I do just want to say that this is essentially the same as a race preview, but with a new name to kind of help it stand out a little bit more, as well as a few tweaks and additions. So please do feel free to let me know what you think of the new format and the changes in the comment section down below. But let's jump into the preview then, and it's a race that, to be perfectly honest, I don't tend to look forward to too much. You know, it doesn't often deliver in terms of entertainment and drama and excitement, and last year was certainly no exception. The 2017 Russian Grand Prix is a race probably best remembered for, well, not an awful lot really. We had Fernando Alonso pulling over at the side of the racetrack towards the end of the formation lap, his race over before it even got started. Valtteri Bottas got a cracking start from third on the grid to take the lead before the first chicane. There was a clumsy moment between Jolyon Palmer and Romain Grosjean which resulted in both of them being wiped out. Stroll had a coming together, leaving the Canadian in a spin just as a safety car was deployed. But there was a close fight towards the end of the Grand Prix between Bottas, who was struggling with a flat-spotted tyre, and Sebastian Vettel. But the Mercedes driver did manage to hold on, thanks in part to Felipe Massa on the last lap, to take his first ever Formula 1 win. But in all honesty, that was pretty much it. To kind of give you an idea as to how little actually happened last year, officially, there was only one recorded overtake outside of the first lap. Let's hope for better this weekend. In terms of the key stats from last season, Sebastian Vettel took pole position on Saturday with a lap time of a 1:33.194. As I said there, it was Valtteri Bottas who took the win on Sunday, leading home Sebastian Vettel and the second Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen. Bottas was also voted as driver of the day from the fans, and the fastest lap of the race was set by Kimi Raikkonen on lap 49 with a lap time of 1:36.844. Taking a look at some of the track stats now then, and the track length is 5.848 kilometres, or if you prefer, that's 3.633 miles. There are 18 corners around Sochi, 6 to the left and 12 to the right, and there will be 53 laps on Sunday. Now, according to the McLaren website, the drivers are at full throttle for 60% of the lap, with Mercedes saying that it's 61%. And the Silver Arrow site also says that the highest lateral G around the circuit is 3.3, and that is at turn 4. In terms of DRS, the FIA haven't added a third zone for this weekend, so it remains at 2. The first runs from turn 1 down to the first chicane, and the second is down the sweeping straight between turns 10 and 13. However, there may not be a third zone around Sochi, but the FIA have extended the first DRS zone by a full 100 metres, meaning that drivers will be going through that first sweeping right corner with the DRS open, all in a bid to improve overtaking opportunities into that first heavy braking zone. But now let's have a closer look at the circuit then, as I hand you over to Matt for a lap of the Sochi Autodrom.
So here we are then, ladies and gents, a lap of the Russian Grand Prix circuit. Coming down in towards the final corner, you want to give yourself the widest run, to give yourself the most speed as you start a lap around this 19-corner Sochi Autodrom. Down in towards turn 1, not really very much of a corner for Formula 1 cars with the amount of aero they have. Obviously just slide through that kink there all the way up into 8th gear, 208 miles an hour. Coming down in towards turn 1, going to brake just before the 100 metre board there, all the way down into 3rd gear, avoid the curb on the outside on the exit. Now you come down in towards turn 4 here, the long flowing 180 degree left hand here. Important that you stay right on the left hand side to give yourself the run through turn 5 there, down in towards 4th gear and then cycling back up through into 7th gear as you now come down into sector 2 in the most street circuit part of this track. Through the right, the 90 degree right of 6th and through the kink of 7, a very, very difficult corner down in towards a turn 8 as you're trying to maximise the braking as well as get the car turned in there. Brake now down at the black box through the lovely double kink of turn 9 and turn 10 and now into one of the most important corners of the lap. Down into 4th gear, want to maximise the traction on the exit as you come down what is effectively that back straight here, but obviously not very much of a straight. Through the right kink and then down in towards the left kink, you'll have to really try and maximise your braking there. Brake at about 125 metres, make sure it's as straight as possible, trying to lock the inside wheel all too much under the bridge in towards this final sector. Then very lucky to get the traction out of there as cleanly as I was able to there. Over the off-camber corner of turn 16 there. Through turn 17, make sure you run the car to the wall on the exit there. Braking down in towards the final 2 90 degree right-handers there. Brake just after the black box for the first. Just brake before the bridge through the second. And that is a lap of the Sochi Autodrom.
So there we go then, a lap around the Russian Grand Prix circuit. Thank you very much, Matt, for helping me out with that one, mate. Really do appreciate it. There is a link in the description to Matt's channel, so make sure you head on over and check out his content. Some seriously good stuff over there. and I'm a regular viewer myself. The tyres available for this weekend are the same as in Singapore. They are the soft, the ultra soft and the hyper soft. Both Hamilton and Bottas are taking just 7 sets of the hyper softs each, with Sebastian Vettel taking 9 and teammate Kimi Raikkonen taking 8. Interestingly enough as well, Vettel is only taking 1 set of the soft tyres. Ricciardo and Verstappen for Red Bull are both taking 9 sets, as are Perez and Ocon for Force India, both the Haas boys, both Ericsson and Charles Leclerc, and Stoffel Van Dorn as well. Alonso in the second McLaren is taking 8 sets of the Hypersofts, and that's mirrored by both Gasly and Hartley in the Toro Rossos, both the Williams boys, and as I've already mentioned, Kimi Raikkonen as well. As for Renault, both Sainz and Hülkenberg are taking 10 sets of the pink marked Hypersoft tyres. On to something else that is new for these weekend warm-ups, and that is a quick news rundown of 3 headlines that I will try and keep relevant to the race weekend. Kicking it all off then, and it looks as though this weekend will be another struggle for Red Bull, as both Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo are set to take engine penalties. It is expected that both drivers will revert back to Renault's Spec B units following issues for Verstappen in Singapore, and if they choose to do so, that will trigger penalties for both drivers. Renault and McLaren have chosen not to switch to the Spec C units, as although they do offer more power, they are less reliable. And Red Bull boss Christian Horner has said that it is likely they will take the pain of penalties in Sochi, as the Mexican Grand Prix represents, quote, the only shot we have got left under normal circumstances of beating Ferrari and Mercedes. So it could be a frustrating one for the Red Bull boys this time out. Sauber's new 2019 driver Antonio Giovinazzi and McLaren's new 2019 driver Lando Norris will both be taking part in FP1 at this weekend's event, as will Renault's Artem Markelov. Now, previously, McLaren had stated that it would be unlikely Norris would feature in any more sessions in 2018, as they try to avoid interfering too much with his Formula 2 season. However, the Brit will now be taking part alongside Antonio Giovinazzi, who will be taking the seat from Marcus Ericsson on Friday, and Artem Markelov, who will get the chance to shine in front of his home fans. And finally, for the rundown, no, it's not really race weekend related, but it is definitely worth a mention. And as was touched upon during last night's live stream, Esteban Ocon has revealed that he is in talks with Williams over a possible race seat for 2019 and is hopeful they can do a deal. The Frenchman's short-term F1 career is hanging by a thread, as he looks set to lose his place at Force India, and with avenues rapidly closing off, Williams looks like his only chance at a seat for next season. He was asked whether Williams were an option, and he confirmed that negotiations were taking place. Ocon also said that whatever happens, he will, quote, do my best to be back in the championship in 2020. Fingers crossed he can sort something out and get himself a drive for next year. On to my one to watch then, and this time out I've gone for Valtteri Bottas. Simply put, he has always gone well around Russia. Back in 2014 he finished 3rd for Williams, and in 2015 he started 3rd on the grid and was on for a podium, 4th at worst, but retired from the race after a collision with Kimi Raikkonen. In 2016, he once again started 3rd on the grid and ended up finishing 4th for Williams. And as I've already said a couple of times in this video, he grabbed his first Grand Prix win in 2017. So it's definitely a track that seems to suit him, and I can certainly see him having another good weekend in Sochi this time round. But it's going to be tough. You know, you've got Sebastian Vettel. He's going to be desperate to win this weekend to keep those slim championship hopes alive. And it could well be that the Finn is also used to help out teammate Lewis Hamilton. And I really hope it doesn't come to that. I know that the championship has to take priority and that the team are going to want to help Lewis Hamilton out, but I really want him to be allowed to go out and race hard this weekend and pick up a really good result. Sochi is very much a Bottas track. That is it then for the Russian Grand Prix weekend warm-up, and don't forget to give me your feedback in the comment section about the new format and the changes I've made. It will be massively appreciated. But with regard to the race weekend, what are your predictions for it? Who do you think will take pole position on Saturday? Who are you expecting to take the win on Sunday? And which driver is your one to watch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, I will be back live tomorrow shortly after FP2 for the Friday roundup. And don't forget to join me over the course of the weekend for the qualifying report, the race watch along, and as ever, the post-race stream. In the meantime, though, you can follow me on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.